If you've been eyeing a Rolex but thought they were out of reach, I've got some very interesting news for you. The once unshakable Rolex market is finally cooling off, and prices on some models are dropping faster than a Submariner in deep-sea dive mode. Remember when getting your hands on a Rolex at retail was like winning the lottery? Well, times are changing, and certain models that were selling for insane premiums just a year ago are now seeing serious price corrections. Welcome back to Opulent Oasis, where today's lineup, including these remarkable Rolexes, might just redefine your wrist game. Stick around and let's see which of these tickers might just tickle your fancy. And it's not just Rolex. We're also seeing other luxury watch brands take a hit. So stick around, because we're breaking down exactly what's going on, which models are falling the hardest, and whether this could be the buying opportunity of a lifetime. Let's get into it. Rolex GMT-Master II. Ever looked at the Rolex GMT-Master II and thought it resembled something from a 1950s soda fountain more than a high-altitude cockpit? That's no accident. The iconic Pepsi bezel isn't just a style choice, it's a nod to Pan Am's classic logo, updated by Rolex to stand out even when the lights go dim. Because even timepieces need to dress appropriately after dark. This beauty retails for about $10,800, making it a sophisticated splurge. Navigating the price fluctuations of this iconic bezel is a bit like riding the waves on a breezy day. It's always afloat, consistently coveted in the collector's market. Stumbling upon a great deal on one feels as satisfying as catching a flight at a dream rate during the holiday rush, a rare thrill that makes you feel like you've outsmarted the system. Now, let's talk about Chuck Yeager, the fearless pilot who shattered the sound barrier. He didn't just wear any watch, he chose the GMT Master as his co-pilot on groundbreaking flights. This timepiece isn't merely a tool for telling time, it's a companion for pioneers and thrill-seekers, as vital as a parachute when you're rocketing through the stratosphere. For enthusiasts of all things retro, the 16750 model is like a time capsule on your wrist, offering a direct link to the golden age of aviation and adventure, complete with those charming Pan Am colors. Pause for a moment. Why not join our Opulent Oasis community? Hit subscribe to stay in the loop. Now, let's continue our journey. Rolex Submariner. Chasing a Rolex Submariner reference 14060. Good news. It won't have you auctioning off your houseboat. There was a time when owning a Submariner was as extravagant as sinking a yacht just for kicks. Luckily, we're past that. The price tag swings between $6,900 and $10,500, influenced by the watch's condition, its vintage year, and whether it's still cozy in its original box with papers. So, your investment depends on how pristine or pedigreed you want your timepiece. This model hit its high note just before the ceramic era dawned. Back then, Rolex was beefing up bracelets and fine-tuning the mechanics while sticking to that beloved diver's aesthetic. Strapping on one of these is less about flashing your status at the yacht club and more about embodying the spirit of Jacques Cousteau, if he had a knack for understated style. Older Submariner models capture that authentic dive watch vibe, and nowadays they're often a steal compared to newer luxury tickers. Rolex plays it cool with celebrity links, letting its heritage do the heavy lifting. Meanwhile, Omega's so vocal about its Bond connection, you'd think it was running for office. In the watch world, it's often the case that the less you brag, the more you shine. Rolex Oyster Precision 6422. Think owning a Rolex means breaking the bank? Think again. Meet the Rolex Oyster Precision 6422, where high-end meets your budget at just $3,500. It's like flying first class on an economy ticket. This watch is a classic charmer with its 34mm stainless steel case, perfectly sized for both cuff peaks and casual glances. The clean, minimalistic dial features sharp hour markers and elegant hands that sweep with purposeful grace. It's robust, yet refined, boasting a manually wound movement, known for its steadfast accuracy. And yes, it's geared up with a water-resistant case and a sturdy bracelet, making it ready for anything from boardroom meetings to impromptu pool dives. The Oyster Precision is like that effortlessly cool friend who's always on point, without even trying. All right, so that's the Rolex rundown. Some models are taking a hit, and the hype train isn't quite as unstoppable as it once was. But Rolex isn't the only brand feeling the market shift. Now, let's talk about some other luxury watches that are also getting a reality check. Because while Rolex may be the poster child of the watch world, brands like Vacheron Constantin and IWC are seeing some serious price corrections too. So, if you've been dreaming of a grail watch but didn't want to sell a kidney for it, now might be your moment. Before we dive in, subscribe to Opulent Oasis for luxury watch trends, minus the snobbery. Now, let's get back to it. IWC Portuguesa Automatic 40. IWC's origin story begins in Schaffhausen, Switzerland, where founder F.A. Jones set up shop for some savvy tax breaks. He was brilliant at making high-quality watches, but maybe too brilliant. His overproduction led IWC right into bankruptcy. Jones's successors were a bit wiser, managing to bring IWC back from the brink by balancing supply and demand. This set the stage for the iconic Portuguesa, born during the 1930s economic gloom when flashy pocket watches were a no-go. IWC smoothly transitioned to wristwatches, initially a hit among women, and then accidentally making a splash in Ukraine instead of Portugal due to wartime mix-ups. Today, the Portuguesa, with its grand dial and timeless style, sells new for around $7,100. For savvy collectors, a pre-owned version might just cost around $4,802. A smart move for a smart watch. Tudor Black Bay, 58 silver. When Tudor launched the Black Bay 58 in silver, it was as surprising as seeing a bridesmaid outshine the bride. They chose silver, a bold move that set expectations sky high, like a fairy tale date. Priced at $4,800 initially, you could find it dipping to $3,360 after the market buzz cools down, kind of like after the wedding cake is cut and reality sets in. As Rolex prices continue to orbit, those looking for more grounded options might find delight in less flashy, yet equally impressive pieces. It's all about uncovering those overlooked treasures that add unique flair to your collection without breaking the bank. Vacheron Constantin. Grabbing a Vacheron Constantin for under $10,800, that's like finding a designer suit in the bargain bin. If the traditional, somewhat elderly charm of Vacheron isn't quite your style, they've got a younger, hipper model that might just do the trick. The craze for integrated bracelet watches is cooling, and the Vacheron Overseas is feeling the chill. Born in an era when Genta was turning out icons like hit singles, Vacheron took its sweet time to join the party, experimenting with several designs to nail the perfect vibe. Vacheron's reference 47001 is like a rock band where the roadies, Jaeger and Dubois des Praz, deserve as much credit as the lead singer, Vacheron. It sports a 1296 sub-dial layout, not the crowd favorite, but definitely a conversation starter. Think Beverly Hills Cop 3 vibes. Fancy something with a touch of old-school glamour? A 1955 Vacheron in steel goes for about $4,740, echoing the kind of vintage elegance that doesn't scream for attention but definitely turns heads. It's like stepping back in time without having to live through less exciting bits of history. Perfect for those who appreciate the finer things in life, minus the need for a title. The luxury watch market is shifting, and for savvy collectors, that means opportunity. Whether you're hunting for a timeless piece at a better price or just watching the market correct itself, now's the time to stay informed. Keep an eye on the trends, buy what you love, and remember, timing isn't just crucial in watches, it's everything in collecting. And there you have it, our guide to snagging high-end watches without the high-end price tags. From the depths with the Rolex Submariner to the heights with the Tudor Black Bay, there's something for every taste and budget. Curious for more? Drop a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe to Opulent Oasis for the insider scoop on all things watches. Check out our other videos for more savvy tips and tricks. Dive into your next luxury watch adventure without sinking your savings.